Hello, hello, cuspers, especially you cuspers that were born on the Gemini Cancer cusp. I gotta let you know I'm running a little bit behind. These are a little bit late. I'm feeling like the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. It's like, am I ever gonna get it done? Am I ever gonna get there? But you know what? I got a lot going on this month, but I do apologize that the messages are a little bit late. These are the general messages for the cusp, the Gemini Cancer cusp babies for October. But whenever you are seeing it is probably the right time for these messages, even if it is a little bit later. Okay? So, the format is the left side of the video represents Gemini, the right side Cancer. We're going to look at the overarching oracle messages that were pulled for the signs in the general readings. Then we're going to lay down some tarot for some added messages, okay, and to reveal some other healing and hidden energies, okay? Now, what's playing in from Gemini for you guys this month is this interesting mix of knowledge and cultivated dreams, or manifesting, as we all like to call it, right? The idea of turning thought form into reality, or making things happen, which is represented by this Field of Dreams card. And I like the word field in this card, right? It's kind of like openness. It refers to kind of like not such like a specified amount. When there's a field of something, or when you are out about in a field, there's like limitless or no boundaries sort of thing. So you may be finding that some of you are dreaming or thinking outside of your typical boundaries or conditioned thought patterns that normally you're used to. If anything, sort of any thoughts that you're having or hit you as strange, or maybe you even question them of being your own, some further reflection may be being required. But this is a time to go about in the world with a perfect balance of both analytical thinking and hopeful kind of wishiness, I'm going to call it. Not wishy-washiness, but wishiness. Almost like you're making the best, or you're seeing the best in situations. You're making the most of the day, that sort of thing, right? With this sort of like inner knowledge that everything's going to be okay, or that your bases are covered, right? There is some contentment coming in with these cards. So really nice to see that coming in on your Gemini side. A little more grounded, yet creatively aspiring than normal, okay? That's the feeling I got. Now, in on your Cancer side, complemented beautifully, okay? Beautifully. Don't be too alarmed by this coming apart card. There can be overtones of like whenever we're separated for something, there are sometimes anxieties that are created through separation. But this, if it's an inner process that is going on, you could be eliminating things out of your sort of repertoire of things that you do, ideas that you entertain, things like that. You may have also physically been feeling the blessings of getting out of a relationship that was not the best for you, or what do they call it, when you dodge a bullet sort of thing. If the relationship was very old and you've recently come to a point where you've been liberated from any emotionally bonding type situations, the feeling is that at the end, this month and next month here, because of the lateness of these videos, I feel like there's going to be, like, you're going to start seeing the benefits, the blessings, or reaping the rewards. You may not be as caught up in contemplation of like, oh, what it could have been, or what it should have been, or, you know, how bad the other was, right? Or what a terrible thing we had done, where it's kind of like, when you see blessings being mirrored back to you in your environment, you get those clues that you're actually on the right path, or right action has occurred, okay? Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy for all of you, because some of you, this is going to be very mental. You're going to be up in your head, I feel, about a lot of things pertaining to relationships and pertaining to what you're perceiving as blessings at this time. You may need to look at things from a different point of view, or a new perspective, as it were, okay? And that's okay, because being born on the cusp energies and having to deal with all of this different energy coming in, it looks like you guys are doing it in appreciation, with sort of wishful creativity and firm, like, fundamental understanding. So pat on the back to you guys for taking what can be like a tricky road that you're traveling, and like kind of paving the way even for people that come behind you, or even friends that you might have in your environment at this time, or just kind of like looking up to you as like a a war hero almost, or like a captain or a queen or a king, and something like someone of great accomplishment is coming to the surface here as well. So you may be entertaining somebody of great accomplishment, or you yourself might be recognized or honored for a great accomplishment coming up this month as well, as a part of the message that's there. We're just asking tarot what the stuck energies, what any hidden messages, and what any healing messages are for those born on the Gemini Cancer cusp for October 2017. It's Gemini Cancer cusp, October 2017. Okay, guys, here we go. Let's start in Gemini again and see what we got. A Five of Swords. All right, so this could be people in your environment, I feel. This could be situations where you are... you already know somebody's up to no good, and your intention might be to try and figure out their next move. It's almost like you're wishing you could see into their brain or into their motives and be like, why are they that way, or why do they feel the need to do this, like either to you, to somebody you care about, or just in general. It could just even be the way they carry yourself. It's like, my goodness, like you can almost like see somebody else's bad karma waiting for them to step into it. It's very interesting. And again, this is a very mental card. This is a very much like walking away from somebody, but still holding on to residual resentments or grievances, okay? That's what was coming up for the Five of Swords. So if you're mingling words, even if you're on the right side, be very careful that you're... even though you might have the truth on your side and you may be in a position where you understand more, when you're pushing, or if you're kind of arguing or fighting with individuals at this time, it's like you're coming off very strong. You're coming off very forthright almost, I feel. And some of you may need to slow down as well. Some of you may be just moving a little bit too quickly for others, okay? Not to say that that's a bad thing, but we have to want to watch sort of envious situations. We need to keep an eye when people get jealous and they butthurt, and then they get deceptive. They get, and it's really weird because it is a very mental thing. So use your deep knowingness, use your creativity to rise above such energies if they are and when they are in your environment, okay, you guys? All right, let's see what Cancer has to deal with. We've got a reversal on a King of Cups. Oh my goodness. Some of you might be in a situation here where it's like you're feeling a little bit of despair or distraught over something emotional coming in. Now, I see this as being somewhat of a blessing. I see this being as like healing initiative turning into a blessing. And if you guys go back and watch the Cancer Generals, there was a lot of good information in there about like this coming apart and this milk and honey, and how there's like kind of a balance between when we're grieving a situation or when we don't feel like we got the best, like, or if we got the short end of the stick, usually it's something is in there, there's a future blessing, or we're being protected from something not as good to come in, right? We're kind of being told to just wait it out, just kind of go back into what you have, don't push the envelope anymore, and kind of like try to let go of any disappointment you have, because this King of Cups reversed, this is the king of disappointment. This is like someone who is sad and upset that maybe they didn't get what they want, or the situation didn't turn out their way, or this is a situation where there is not very clear thinking going on. All right, but we have this deep knowing, right? Maybe this Cancer side is very emotional this month for you guys, for what you've been used to maybe in the past 4 or 5 months. Maybe you will find like deep levels of emotion, and it's going to be very tough to think about it. It's going to be very tough to deal with it sort of in the mind. And for some of you, there may be a temptation or a turn to like alter your state of consciousness via maybe some drinks or some extracurricular, narcotics, things like that, that could be coming in for purposes of escapism, which is the King of Cups. Is his staunch message is that of emotional escapism and not really wanting to like come to terms with what he knows is right versus, the deep end of his emotional fabric, right? So some of you will be like experiencing it all the entire emotional spectrum this month. All right, but make sure in doing so you don't lose this balance. You guys have got very good oracle cards of balance. You guys have got a lot of resources to rely upon. So Don't take those resources for granted, or don't ignore them and wallow at this time, because could end up missing out. You could end up like damaging your health. You could end up like regressing a little bit if you're not relying on your deep knowingness and on the blessings that are around you. And that could be people, could be resources, environment, things like that. Whatever's shaking you down, whatever's got you kind of bumming, you got to be very strong and liberated in your heart and in your mind, not to allow it to drag you down. Don't let it grab you by the boots and pull you backwards through the mud, you guys. You got to stay with it. You got to stay strong. And when those kind of thoughts or those feelings come in, just go take a moment, deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, now we can feel it in our gut. We can feel ourselves in our body, and we know there's no point in going back and living through the past in our heart and our mind. Let's live now and push into the future with our physical body, with ourself, and with our dreams, okay? That's the way it needs to go. So if you're on that precipice, if you're on that split, okay, these cards are for you. Wow, best path to follow, 9 of Swords. You gotta be kidding me. When I looked at these oracles, I had such a good feeling for you guys. But tarot is revealing to me that there is some things, there is some healing that needs to go on. There are some issues now that need to be worked through. All right, some of you got into a bitter breakup, a bitter argument with someone that you care about, and now you are like truly like kind of bummed out or filled with some sort of like anguish or despair. This is a gnarly combo, you guys. And I'm going to give you a little more just because I don't like leaving on these sad notes, right? But it's like somebody that's receiving this reading is really in a bad place. And let's all let's set a good intention for this Gemini Cancer so that they can feel the warmth. They can feel that their future is not drying up as a result of this breakup. Or if this person was abusive or got really ugly towards the end, don't worry about it. This is a transformation that's coming. This is something that's pulling you back into physical reality. This is something that is actually making you physically stronger. This is somebody is going to be inspired to do things for themselves, where as before they were not. They were not accomplishing it on their own. They were sitting back and letting someone else have responsibility, be responsible, take action, and they were not. Okay, so whatever that means to you. Now we have the card of transformation and we have the card of the mountain here. So we just went through all of this. We realize that if we are being too deeply affected here by the words, the actions of another, that strength needs to come through self and through our foremost environment. Like I said, being in your body. These are breathing exercises now. This is goal setting. This is using your, like I said, those inner resources. Like, did this person come in and take everything that you had in your life and trample it under your feet and then spit it all out and walk away? If you did deal with some sort of narcissist on this level, I would go out, seek some counseling, get some professional help on this, and get yourself feeling. And instead of like trying to go it alone or trying to run away or trying to escape, or for some people like maybe are blaming others for whatever has happened here, it's like, screw it. You can't go backwards. All we can do is change the subtle things within ourselves to set ourselves up for future success, future blessings. We have this knowing that if we become more separated inside, if we lose our sense of wholeness within ourselves, then we could end up regressing for a long time here. This is a time to stand up, take action, be proud of yourself. F that person if they didn't see the beauty and the glory in that sort of relationship, or if it was an abusive situation where somebody used somebody else or did somebody wrong. We have to immediately shut the door on the past for this, you guys, all right? Now, I feel this got very specific for some people, and that's okay, because honestly, with these videos have been getting about 100, 200 views, and if this come down for even 3 to 5 people, I believe that that's why I'm here, why these messages exist in this moment in time. Thank you all for coming and listening to these messages and sending out good vibes, good intentions to those that are like-minded with you there in Cancer and Gemini. Okay, I love you all, and we'll see you next time.